Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I have Cammy here today, and I'm so excited that you came because you're a mother and you're awesome.
Thank you.
And I wanted to let everybody know a little bit about you and what do you do and just, you-ness.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so I am a stay-at-home mom of two beautiful babies. I have a little girl and a little boy, which you know. And, yeah, it's so fun. It's such a great journey. I started the parent journey young and had just gotten out of college, and so I think I had expected, workforce, business career, had babies, but my heart was I want to be home with my kids, obviously, when I have kids. So it was just this little detour, but it's been the biggest blessing, to be honest, being home with them. I have learned more about myself than any other life experience could have taught me from these little humans. We always joke and we say that they're like our little pastors because they just challenge you in ways that you could not be challenged by anyone else. These little innocent, pure beings. And so right now I'm home with the babies, but I also do some stuff on the side. I think naturally it's just in me to always be kind of doing something. And so currently right now I have Thrill Joy, which you're aware of, which is a woman and children's clothing line that has a heart for spreading the message of abundant life for all the world, not just, here in the Western world or here in our circle or here in just the people we know or we're comfortable with. Like abundant life for all humans, and that every human has a value. And so that's a really fun project that I feel like I have been on this journey of succeeding and failing, but learning. So
that's awesome.
That's where I am with
that's
that.
The way entrepreneurs do.
That's right. Failed well, right?
Yes.
Isn't that the goal?
Yes.
Hopefully.
You learn something, you
Right.
make the next thing better.
Right. There you go. Good
I
perspective.
also wanted to ask you a little bit about identity, because that's what I'm kind of focusing on is identity, setting a foundation for your children to know who they are, and how do you do that on the day-to-day with your children?
Right. Yeah. The deep life questions here. So I feel like kids are like little sponges, and they learn so much from us, which is the most beautiful and the absolute scariest thing that could be true. And so I think the biggest thing we could do for our kids is modeling identity. So that's Matt and I's obvious number one priority, to just show her value. Like me even valuing myself, Matt valuing himself, us valuing each other, us valuing family. And so we're always trying to make an effort to value our family, to love each other well, to respect each other, to honor each other, to when we fail, to fail well. Like, because I fail all the time. I fail her sometimes. But for me to be able to apologize, for me to be able to love myself and love her in the midst of maybe my disappointment. Same for her. When she maybe fails in a moment, or fail is such a loose term, I guess, but in a hard moment, me being able to love her and me being able to call her to her highest rather than shame her. And I think that's the biggest thing. We have a close friend of ours who has kids who are older, which is always nice to just like not reinvent the wheel, but get from those who have already gone before us. And that was his biggest advice to us. He said, if you can do absolutely anything for your children to ensure that they are fruitful and just look like Jesus, I guess is the best way you can say it. He was like, remove shame. Do absolutely whatever you can to have no shame in your home. And so that's kind of where we are in our family, like nothing hidden, no shame, and all the cards out on the table, as messy as that is. And obviously there's boundaries as a parent, like they are young children and they can take what they can take as they grow, and you have discernment with that. But yeah, I think that's our best way to instill identity into her, to just value her and to remove shame from her life. And naturally God has deposited within her human value, and there's something so beautiful already in her that if we can release her from shame, we know she'll blossom. Like the seed is there,
right?
I don't need to put a seed in. Like, the seed is there. I just need to protect her innocence and nurture what God has put in there. And so that's I think our heart.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good to continue to stay on the positive side, because the world, I think, is going to show us all kinds of stuff that they'll want us to see, but they're going to know that home is a safe place, and they already know they're loved.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it comes in so easily. It's like the little foxes, you know, and sometimes you don't even know, like, where are they getting this from? And I mean, there is like this fallen nature aspect, I guess, you know, but sometimes they just learn things. Like an example would be, like, when she first started talking, she started walking around with her toys, like, mine, and grabbing things. And I'm like, Matt, I don't walk around the house doing that. And she doesn't watch a lot of cartoons. She's really young. Like, we were pretty good at filtering those. And I'm like, she literally just decided that was a good way to protect her stuff. It's just like in her to be like, mine, you know. But even in the sense of the world, you know, it is so important to just be so, stay curious with your kids and just be so present, because it trickles in so easily. Like, what was it the other day? I forget what it was. It's something small, right? But it's so big. You could tell, like, with kids, it's big in their heart, you know?
Yeah.
And there was this moment where I think it was, like, having to do with her, like, running fast or something. And she was like, Mommy, I can't. I'm just not good at it. Like, I can't. I'm not good at that, Mom. I'm not good at it. And I could just feel, like, this little bit of shame. And it sounds maybe small, you know, but it was so real in her heart. Like, you could really see that she was like,
for her, it's big.
I'm not good at that, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, all that to say, yeah, there is so much in the world and so much comparison. And, you know, I think she heard from one kid once that, like, I'm more fabulous than you. And she starts, you know, they're like little mirrors, you know? And so it's so important to just be consistent and be so intentional for me to teach her, like, no, we don't compare. Everyone is fabulous.
Yeah.
Like, and how just staying intentional to, like, those little seeds are like, they root, you know? Anyway, so yeah, I totally agree. This world
That's
is
good.
filtered with, there's so much comparison. And
Right.
so.
That's good stuff to take, little
Right.
gems.
Right, yeah, hopefully.
Well, thank you. I think
Yes.
you have given us enough to work with here.
Yes.
And to put into our babies' lives as well.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you
You're
so
such an
much.
amazing mom. I feel like I learned so much from you.
Thank you.
Yes.
We have a good community around us.
Amen. We can.
You hear that, Frontier?
That's right. We have a good community. We can learn from each other, fail safely with each other.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of community.
Yes.
So.
Thank you. Thank you for
I
being
love you.
here.
You're amazing. Love your book. Love your family.
Thanks.
They're awesome.